Hello, students. This presentation is going to teach you a little bit about the Lone Star 5th grade, as well as some things in the upper grades that may be different than what you're used to in the elementary, like some rules and activities and things you might want to know. Here is what your daily schedule will look like. First hour, second, third, and fourth hour. Then it's lunch and recess, and then you have fifth, sixth, and seventh hour. Your first hour class will be your homeroom class. Here is how your 7 classes are broken down. You will have 5 core classes: math, reading, English, science, and social studies. And then each student gets to choose 2 electives. For your 5 core classes of math, reading, English, science, and social studies, your teachers will be Mrs. Belville, Mrs. Hahn, Mrs. Hamlin, and Mrs. Mitchell. Each student gets to choose 2 electives. Your options are art, choir, study hall, band, rotate, basketball, and PE. Make sure to discuss these options with your parents because once you make your choice, there are no schedule changes. You get 5 minutes between classes. Here are a few tips for that passing time. First up is your lockers. A disorganized, messy locker makes it hard to find what you need and get to class, but a clean, organized locker will help you get your materials that you need and get to class on time without being tardy. Passing time is also the time for restroom breaks. It is important to use this 5 minutes wisely and take your restroom breaks now and not ask your teachers during class to leave class to use the restroom. The next passing time tip is about the hallways and using the correct doors. When the bell rings and classes are dismissed, the hallway becomes very crowded. It's always good to remember to walk on the right-hand side of the hallway. That way there's a flow of traffic. It's also important to use the correct door. You always use the door on your right. That way you're going out on the right and students coming from the opposite side are coming in on their right. Being on time to class is very important. 4 tardies equals a detention. Unlike in the elementary, where you are only tardy first thing in the morning, in the upper grades, you have to make sure that you are not tardy to each of your classes. The upper grades have something called behavior points. You will be given 5 points per class. You will lose points for things like not being prepared for class, misbehaving in class. You want to make sure that you have at least 1 point left per class to possibly earn a success trip at the end of the 9 weeks. At the end of each 9 weeks, the upper grades take success trips. These trips could be bowling, to the movies, to the mall, or many other fun things. To earn the success trip, the requirements are no D's or F's on the report card, no more than 1 detention, no suspensions, and at least 1 behavior point left in each of your classes. Most of the school rules in the upper grade are the same as the ones you're used to in the elementary, but we're going to go over a couple just as a reminder. First up are cell phones. If you bring a cell phone to school, remember it must be turned off and put away. You cannot have it out during class, during passing time, at recess, on the bus, or during any school activities. The next rule to remind you about is that gum is not allowed at school. This includes on the bus and at recess. Food and drinks are also not allowed. Lastly, all students must abide by the school dress code. Items include no hats, fingertip-length shorts and skirts, no spaghetti straps, and other things mentioned in the school handbook that all students and parents sign at the beginning of the year. That is all for now. We can't wait to see you next year in the upper grade building as Lone Star 5th graders.